the situation you're currently in was at some point an idea in your head and you just literally achieved it.
Interesting.
Hello my beauties and cuties, welcome back to the All You Can Face YouTube channel. This is a quite unusual topic for my channel, but I think maybe this could help one or two people. What I'm going to talk about is actually 4 books which changed my life. If you're someone who's currently stuck or don't know what to do, or you feel bad about yourself, your internal world is as important as your external world. I'm starting with one of my favorites, and this is the one by Simon Sinek called Start With Why. I am so obsessed with this book that I don't have it actually at hand because I give it to a friend because I loved it so much, but I have the workbook, and this is basically a practical guide for discovering purpose for you and your team. Before you do anything in life, you should actually always ask yourself why you're doing what you are doing. And I apply this philosophy in any part of my life. Why am I meeting this person right now? Why am I doing this job? Why am I living in the city I am living? Oftentimes we know what we are doing. Some people know how we are doing it, but oftentimes we do not know why. And this golden circle of him, which you can see right here, it starts basically with why, how, and what. So even if you communicate with people through chit-chatting, through connecting, if you can really tell your why, then they connect with you on a most authentic way. And personally for me, my why is to grow, learn, teach others to become the best version of themselves, grow a community. This is something I've always craved. I've never had in my childhood, and this is why I've started All You Can Face, and I'm beyond grateful to have that. So this is the first little tip. Start with why, best thing ever, best foundation to start if you are stuck. Next book, which I really love, and I have it always at hand, and I reread it oftentimes. It has tons of notes and marks. It is You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And I've read this book, I think 8 years ago. In fact, I've read an interview by J-Lo, and she said she read this book and it changed her life. I actually afterwards saw that lots of other influential people or interesting people are a fan of hers. And what I really love about this is actually it's the Bible when it comes to self-love. She speaks about how we are often speaking to ourselves in a bad way, and this has obviously like a huge impact on our life. What we believe about ourselves is actually the limit, what we are putting onto our life. If you feel like you're not worthy for a certain way, or you not feel beautiful enough, and you are not therefore going for the goals, going for the meeting, going for something because you don't feel enough, or you feel something is lacking, which is absolutely not true. It's just like a stupid belief we've accumulated one time in our life because we had a bad experience. So she is amazing, and there's so many amazing affirmations. In fact, I have 1 or 2 in my head constantly. I literally speak this to me, and it helped me so much throughout the years, and I go back to this once in a while because this is something everybody should read just to like yourself better a little bit.
Oh, how cute.
The next one is Designing Your Life by Bill Burnett and Dave Evans. It's basically a Stanford course on how to build your life. When people ask me, oh, you have such a cool life, you build All You Can Face, and you can work from anywhere in the world because it's digital. Well, I actually quite intentionally set this goal for myself years and years ago, that what do I want actually in life and how does my life would look like. And I also firmly believe that the situation you're currently in was at some point an idea in your head and you just literally achieved it. And what I love about this book is that it gives you practical advice on to assess what brings you joy and what brings you energy. It is a Stanford course, so it's also targeted to people who are at university or something. And oftentimes we want to study something or we want to find a job. Then the people are like, go to the career center. You go to the career center, and then the career center lady or gentleman is telling you, well, what is your passion? And you're like, I don't know what my passion is. And the guy is then like, well, come back if you know your passion. But that's exactly the point. Knowing your passion is not as easy as you think. If you like shopping, you might not be the next fashion designer. If you like eating, like me, but I definitely will not be the next Michelin star chef. So what it gives you, and I really urge to read it for everyone who feels really stuck, it gives you like amazing tools to understand what brings you actually joy in life. For example, if you are going into a situation and you feel kind of like tired, you actually didn't even want to go, you didn't even want to do this particular activity, but once you're there, you feel like, wow, I feel energized, I kind of love it, and it brings me really joy. This is something you should write down and ask yourself what actually in particular was the thing which brought you joy. On the other hand, sometimes you think like, oh, I would love to do a certain thing, and then you end up being really depleted and just tired of a certain person, of a certain situation, of a place, or something else. This is just one technique to basically monitor your energy level and really also monitor what brings you energy, and like really also give yourself this pathway of understanding yourself a little bit better. Because what society tells us, what is cool or what is like nice and interesting, is not necessarily the thing which is cool and interesting and nice for you. In fact, when I started face yoga, no one knew about it. It was not as popular as it is right now, and people were actually like frowning upon what I'm doing with my face. Long story short, again, I just love doing it for the sake of doing it. And then last book, which really had a huge impact on my life, is Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. It basically speaks about your inner monologue in your head. You oftentimes hear your thoughts, or like you have thoughts in your head, but you also understand that you have thoughts in your head, right? So who is the person who understands that you have thoughts in your head? Well, that is the real you. But oftentimes we are so all over the place that whatever we are thinking that it's us. But it's just thoughts coming and going, and the real you is the person observing the thoughts. One amazing concept which I really loved already, like in the beginning of the book. And then also how you deal with certain situations. The way we go through life is sometimes either we have an amazing positive experience and we want to hold on to it and it doesn't want to pass through us energetically, or we have something really sad and traumatic happen to us and we actually don't want to deal with it at all. And in both scenarios we are holding on to it in our body, and it creates like a lens through which we are seeing certain things. So if you have like a positive experience, of course, like you are tending to do more of those things, or you find positive connotations towards that particular thing. If you have a negative experience with a certain thing and you go through into a situation with this certain lens, subconsciously even, you are just limiting your life by so many things. And especially like if you then start to have expectations what is coming into your life. So long story short, this is one of the most amazing books I've ever read. I recommend it to everyone. It's one of my favorite books ever, Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. I've done also the course because I was so excited about it. So I hope this was a little introspective into what I think is interesting. I love to read. I love to nourish myself in that regard. If you find that interesting, let me know in the comments, maybe books you would love to share with me, which I should read. And with that being said, really stay curious, ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing, be kind to yourself, and also analyze what brings you joy and energy, and try to go through any situation as empty and open-hearted as possible. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. With that being said, bisous and bye. Mwah.